Oh God. Oh my God.
If you do try to play games with it, that's inviting it in.
In 2006, Oren Peli didn't have a film degree, a connection in Hollywood, or even a professional camera. He was a software programmer who thought to himself, who needs $1 million movie set when I can just shoot something in my bedroom? While everyone else was waiting for a yes from the studio, Peli used $15K, the savings that he had, to prove that a great idea doesn't need a permit. That $15K didn't just buy equipment, it bought him cinematic legacy, because that little $15K film went on to become one of the most profitable films in movie history, grossing over $190 million. What I found most surprising about Paranormal Activity might be its script. If you think you need a 120-page Nichols award-winning screenplay to start, you might be wrong. Oren Peli didn't write a 120-page script, or a 90-page script, or a script in general. He knew that the biggest tell of a low-budget film was bad scripted acting. So he threw the idea of a script away. He hired 2 unknown actors for $500 each and gave them one instruction: live in this house, talk to each other, and don't stop until it feels real. By refusing to write lines in a normal script, he forced the actors to be human. He realized that the authenticity was free. You don't need a writer's room to capture the way people actually whisper when they're afraid. If it feels real to you, it will feel real to an audience of 1 million. Peli shot the entire film in just 7 days. As you can probably imagine, there was no crazy craft services or lighting rigs on set. There wasn't even much of anything really. But there was one thing. He used the limitations of a one-man crew as his greatest creative weapon. Because he couldn't afford a monster, he made silence the monster. Because he couldn't afford CGI, he used a fishing line to move a bedroom door to create theatre and drama in a scene. He proved that cinema isn't about the gear you use, it's about the tension that you build. Every flaw of his low-budget production, the grain, the static camera, the DIY effects, made the movie feel even more terrifying because it looked like something that the audience would find in their own camcorder. Every aspiring creator fears their work will be ignored. For Peli, that fear lasted years. The movie sat on a shelf, rejected by festivals and agents, until it landed in the hands of a little-known filmmaker called Steven Spielberg. The story is actually legendary. Spielberg watched the DVD, his bedroom door mysteriously locked himself in, and he became convinced that the film was cursed, so he brought it back to the studio in a garbage bag. Even then, the studio wanted to remake it with real money, but Peli stood his ground. He knew that the 15K version worked. He trusted his vision over Hollywood's polish. That's the goal, to make something so undeniably effective that even the giants of the industry have to respect it. Paramount didn't know how to sell a movie with no stars and no blood, so they let the fans do it. They launched the Demand It campaign, the first of its kind. They told the world, if you want to see this, you have to fight for it. Over 1 million people voted to bring this 15K home movie to their local theaters, and this changed the game for creators. You no longer need a gatekeeper to give you the green light. If you can build a community and spark a conversation, the audience will force the industry to pay attention. You don't have to find an audience anymore, you build one. Genius of Paranormal Activity isn't what's on the screen, it's what it isn't on the screen. He knew that he couldn't out-spectacle a superhero movie or a big summer Hollywood blockbuster, so he did the opposite. For example, he used a time-lapse clock to weaponize the mundane. He turned a shadow, a creak, a door moving 2 inches into a global cinematic event. The best thing that you've got isn't that 4K fancy camera, it's what's in the audience's imagination, especially if you want to make a horror film.